Everybody, we're here with Christoph Milz of Hestan Smart Cooking. How you doing, man?
Carlos.
Makers of Hestan Q. And you were here the first Smart Kitchen Summit.
Yes, we were here from the beginning. The first year we just had our team put together for Hestan Smart Cooking. We've worked on an idea. Second year we actually presented that idea in real product form and launched it after the Smart Kitchen Summit. And the third year we added more extensions to our product, new features. And fourth year now we're showing an embedded solution for any kitchen appliance manufacturer that wants to have guided cooking on the cooktop and on the oven.
Right, so you're working with the appliance makers as well, is that right?
Yeah, so we see ourselves as a guided cooking company. We have smart cookware. We have an app with recipes that guide you step by step through the way, and that app connects with the heat source, in this case the cooktop, and the smart cookware, or also the oven. And because we don't see ourselves as a hardware company for kitchen appliances, at least not the Hestan Smart Cooking division, we partner with many of the kitchen appliance manufacturers.
Right, and you create this ecosystem that everyone can do everything with basically your setup.
Right,
and
correct.
From the phone, right? So like you can do
phone,
pretty much
tablet, and there are many ways of displaying the recipes and the beautiful videos that we have. In the kitchen, you'll probably see in the next year and 2 years many different formats of how this will be displayed in the kitchen.
Now, how do you see the? How do you get the recipes? Are they exact from different sources, or?
So we develop them in-house. We
Okay.
have a team of chefs. They're highly trained and qualified chefs that are. They really have the techniques down. Our goal is really to help you to get to an outcome that is better than what you could accomplish if you would just follow a regular recipe.
Yeah.
That's really what motivates us to put technology in the kitchen or use the newest technology to help you really produce a better outcome. It's all focused on that you have at the end a better outcome on the plate.
Right, and we talk about this a lot in this kind of smart devices. It helps the people who maybe not have the skills to do something quicker. Then they wouldn't have to long look in the videos and prep. And now you can just use your recipes that kind of work already. Right,
and so we started, of course, with our in-house team and their recipes because we wanted to make sure it's all a cohesive, fully working user experience, and the results are there because that's what we promised. But now we're like opening up. We have contributors. We have actually other chefs that have contributed their recipes. And we have users that are now sending us their suggestions that we put in there.
Can we add our own recipes? Yeah.
Right, and so you're not doing this actually yourself at this point as a user because they're actually up to 400 data points or so in one recipe.
Right.
That would be a lot of work, and most consumers or users don't want to do that for us.
Right, yeah.
That would be nice.
That's a lot of legwork, yeah.
That would be really nice if they would do this, but so we also guarantee then for everybody else that once it's put in that the recipe comes out 100%.
Just works, yeah. So what's a device that you kind of worked with or launched that is seems to be like the number one, like people are really gravitating toward? Is there one that kind of stands out more, like the actual pan? I feel like that's a great setup.
That's a good question, but really our philosophy there is the best tool for the job, right? So actually, when you are a skilled chef and you know your way around in the kitchen, you know certain things are better for others, and this one of that's what we want to provide. We don't try to say this is the one tool you need and you can make everything in it, right? It's more like. This is the best tool for that job. This is the best tool for that job.
And that's
so
a different way of
cookware.
Yeah, I like that a lot because that is the full kitchen. That's how you traditionally saw a kitchen. This is what this does. And it's interesting because it is kind of dichotomy. There's a difference where a lot of different companies in the smart space are saying that this is the one thing you use. Right, and that's it. And that's it. But it feels like it's a long time for that to be fully adopted. Am I right?
Yeah, it's coming together. So everybody has to start at one point, right? Nobody can do everything at once, right? So we have certain people that are specialists in, let's say, blenders that heat and all of that, and they're really good in this, but they miss certain cooking techniques because they can't caramelize things or so.
Right.
And so pairing those two devices together and those two experts that's kind of how we approach it. We for example, on the sous vide side, we're not making a sous vide device, but we know that there are other really good companies out there. And one of them, Chef Steps, for example, with the Joule circulator, we partnered with them, right? And so there's actually a seamless handshake, because what our goal is to really get you to cook a full meal and use the best tool for the job. And if we don't do it, we find ways in this new ecosystem economy to do a seamless handshake, right? That's what for example, what we showed last year when we were here at Smart Kitchen Summit.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, and we talked about that quite a bit today, is this like kind of opening up your ecosystem, allowing yourself to work with other companies, because again, everybody's kitchen's different, and they're going to want to make a meal. They don't care how they get there, right? And if you can help them facilitate that, that's important.
Yeah.
Well, I like the system you guys have created. Anything new on the horizon that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about being able to give precise temperature control on the cooktop to our partners and get that into any kitchen. And with that comes also the app and the guided cooking, because most consumers don't know, what temperature do I fry an egg if I want it over easy medium,
right,
or over easy just like really pale, or I want a little bit of a crust on it. What are the right temperatures? So that's why guided cooking is why we came up with that, and especially for the cooktop, it's necessary. And so we're excited about bringing that to the market and make it widely available. And that's our biggest job that we focus on right now.
And I think that's a really important point, because I think the learning of how to actually cook something. If you take it just a regular person like me, and I'm doing something in the kitchen, I'm just eyeballing it and guessing.
Right.
But the idea is more like a new kind of education, and like, no, this is actually the best way and the best outcome to make this thing.
Right.
And I think that your product can help, facilitate that. So.
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely learn something when you cook through these guided recipes.
Yeah, you're not just letting it do it.
Right.
It's not a robot.
Right.
It's
Yeah, if I want to get a really good fried egg, I go to the restaurant across the street or whatever. I mean, I go out for brunch or so. But if I want to do this at home, how do I do it?
How do I do it?
Yeah,
how can I do it next time?
Exactly, yeah. Right.
That's my last question is, what do you think about this ecosystem where there's this in the kitchen, digital smart devices, then there's also the Uber Eats of the world, and the things where you are just getting things from other places. Do you see them coexisting together and everything's fine?
Absolutely. You wake up in the morning and you have a certain schedule, certain things you need to get done that day, and there's a solution for your food that day, right? You work at home, you want to have a simple thing, you don't have time to cook, you just want to pop something in the oven. The next day you want to host someone.
Right.
It all coexists, really. Yeah. It just we have more choices, really.
Yeah, so the whole idea that's going out there, like either or, it's both.
Right. Yeah, there's no such thing that one solution will solve everything.
For anything.
Yeah, right.
Christoph, thanks so much for being here.
All right,
have a good rest of your show.
Thanks.